You're not wearing your whole shirt.
No. It's I think it's in the wash. Or
Very
they're all
sad.
in the wash, yeah. It's the first time I haven't worn a football shirt while doing it.
No,
No.
that's third. Is this our 14th or 13th?
14th. Give me a minute.
14th. Ah, you got it. Oh, he's only gone and done it.
It'll be wrong
He's
not
only
to,
gone and
wouldn't
done it. Wow, fair enough. You
Gotta stay committed.
right? Let's get on with the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, Diame! Here's Hulk! Diame! The cross and it was Oh, they did it! I cannot believe it! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again!
Hello, everyone. We are Through and Goal, a podcast where we talk about football and pretty much nothing else. My name is Sam, and as always, I'm joined by my very best friend and co-host. Yep, that's the very best friend and co-host. Yep, you're both
Yep,
of those.
that's the line.
Elliot Clifford.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes. Yeah. Hello, Sam.
I'm very tired. I'm so sorry. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, it's been a busy week of football. So as ever, it's been a good week. How's your week been?
I love the Champions League.
Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it?
I love it. I absolutely love it. I've had a week off work. I've had a little bit of a family holiday time off, which was really nice. Champions League is just the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
What more is there not to love
No,
at the moment in time?
There's no drama quite like Champions League drama, is there?
There's not, and I think there's only really one place to start.
Yes.
PSG. No, I'm joking. Barcelona. Not only did they lose, holy hell, they lost.
It was
I can't. There's no words.
It was a battering. It was an absolute battering. And
Yeah.
first of all, I'd just like to say it's very nice to see another team concede 8 goals. But yeah, I mean, Bayern, rightfully so, going into the game were favourites, and most people would have probably expected Bayern to have won the game, but not to that extent. Not by 8 goals to 2. I don't think anyone saw anything like that coming. It was an absolute onslaught from the beginning of the game. Really, it started really high tempo, and to be fair, it was end to end. Both teams had big chances, but it was classic German efficiency. Barca couldn't finish their chances. Bayern could. Even David Alaba scored one of the goals of the game past
did
Neuer.
yeah. Cracking old goal.
Yeah, you'd be proud of it, wouldn't you?
Before we came on, I quickly watched the highlights of it, and Steve McManaman, with literally the first 2 minutes, goes, "Oh, this game could have been this game could be 5-5."
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah, 10 goals were scored.
Yeah.
Not quite how we expected 10 goals to score, but I've never seen a team quite like that fall apart, especially the stature of Barcelona. So regardless, I know there's a lot going on behind the scenes with Barcelona. There is a lot. And we know that. It hasn't exactly been hidden from the news. And yes, the manager, has he been sacked now? Or he's literally on the verge?
He was sacked pretty much straight after the game, which you completely understand.
Yeah, and so I get that. However, these players are still, a lot of them are still world-class,
Oh, absolutely.
borderline incredible players. Like, regardless of what's going on behind the scenes, regardless of that, you still got Ter Stegen, who's probably one of the world's best keepers on his day. You know, PK can still put in a shift.
Yeah,
Messi, Suarez.
PK, he's probably past his peak. He's on the way down, but he's still what I'd consider a world-class defender.
Yeah, and Alaba, they did play a little. The midfield was quite defensive. Obviously, Vidal and I think Roberto and Busquets were playing. Mm-hmm. But Semedo, what on earth? He is a professional. He's got plenty of experience. Good right back, and he's all right. But Alphonso Davies just sent him back to Portugal.
It's been a little while since we've mentioned your favourite Canadian, hasn't it? But
my favourite Canadian.
Yeah,
I remember saying to you ages ago, this Alphonso Davies, I think
player.
He looks all right.
But he had an absolutely fantastic game, didn't he? And it was that I mean, I can't even remember which number goal it was that he just sat him down, basically. He just sat down Semedo. And I know Semedo's young, but that's going to take an awful lot of coming back from. A moment like that.
It absolutely embarrassed him. And I don't know, I might be sounding stupid here, so apologies if I am, but I'm hoping you can clear this up for me. Why was Coutinho allowed to play?
they must be missing a clause in the contract saying that he can't play against his parent club. But
Because I'm pretty sure every loan is that. I'm 100% sure you can't.
I wonder if it works that it has to be written into the contract that they can't play, or whether it's written into the contract that they can. I wonder which way round it works.
Yeah.
But it's clearly not happened in this case.
No, because the only instance I ever remember something like that happening was Frank Lampard's derby going to Chelsea. He asked Chelsea permission.
Right, yeah.
Tomori and Mason Mount, can they play? Chelsea were like, yeah, they can play. Good experience in the cup for them. And I know Barcelona don't like Coutinho, but I cannot imagine Barcelona going, oh yeah, go on, yeah, you can play against us, I don't care. He's not going to do anything. 2 goals and an assist.
I'd completely forgot about the time that you mentioned with Mount and Tomori.
Because they asked special permission for it.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, let's do it.
And I remember Tomori having an absolute shocker of a game. But there's one game I can remember a long, long time ago. It was Hull City against Cardiff. We had Say Olafinjana out on loan to Cardiff, and he scored against us like Coutinho did. But talking of Coutinho, though, another sort of subplot to come from this game is that it turns out that if Coutinho wins the Champions League with Bayern this season, Barcelona have to pay an extra 5 million to Liverpool.
Do they really?
Yeah, which
my God.
as if they haven't paid enough for him already, they're now assisting paying more.
I understand. Coutinho didn't come on and change the game, let's be honest. They were winning 6-1 or 6-2 by then anyway. Mm-hmm. But I'm so shocked that if it comes out of it, and again, I probably should have done the research before we recorded because I was quite interested in it. But if it comes out to find that Bayern asked Barcelona, can he play? Mm-hmm. And he said yeah, and they said yes. Well, whoever that is, sack him immediately.
Yes.
Because Coutinho, it doesn't matter if Barcelona or Bayern Munich don't rate Coutinho, he's still very clearly a good player.
Yeah.
Regardless. He's not a young up-and-comer. He doesn't need experience. He can change a game. And he did.
Yeah.
Not change it, but he came on, 2 goals and assist.
Yeah. At the very least, it's one less option off the bench.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. But,
so I didn't quite get that.
This game kind of sort of highlighted the ongoing problems that there are at Barcelona. And PK came out and said straight away after the game, we need new blood in this team. We need youth. We need young players to come through. And I think he said he'll hold his hand up and say he'll be the first one to go if that's what it takes.
That's got to be good for Pjanic coming in.
We
need new blood. Okay, well, 30s.
There's someone in your mid-30s that you're selling for someone who's in your mid-20s.
He was like early 20s. I still
don't
not fully getting that transfer.
Yeah.
So that was a brilliant. It was fun to watch.
It was a shock. It was a massive shock.
Massive shock. Interesting you say that because I love my segues, me. It makes it easier to edit. I love it. I forgot the segue. Oh, speaking of shocks.
That's stated.
Yeah, of course. Man City lost to Lyon. Now, Guardiola doesn't like the Champions League with Man City, does he?
No.
Last 16 against Monaco, quarter-final against Liverpool, quarter-final against Tottenham, quarter-final against Lyon. Now, what's going on there?
No, you think with the squad that Man City have and the money they've got available, I still do rate Guardiola as one of the best managers in the game. You would think that he'd be able to get through this. I don't know if it's a mental thing with the players thinking we haven't done this before, that kind of thing. I don't know, but you'd be expecting them to be doing much better than they have been.
They have winners, man. They win the Premier League.
Yeah.
They've won it a few times. They've won the Capital One Cup, not a major trophy, but they go to finals and they win finals. Yeah. In the Premier League, they've set records and they've won Premier League titles. They have that winner's mentality. So I don't know why, when it comes to Europe, it just falls apart for them. Yeah. Because it's not. You've got that. You know how to get to a final. You know how to beat these teams. Especially with the 2 quarterfinals that they've lost are against 2 English teams that they have faced in the Premier League, and we know that they can beat and stuff, but they can't. And I don't know what Guardiola can do more with Man City than he hasn't already done. He's bought the players he needs to buy. He's bought the goalkeeper. He's shored up. Jesus and Aguero, they're still capable, but Foden's coming through. Good solid midfield. Rodri, Fernandinho still puts in a shift. Laporte at the back. They've recently signed Ake, not Champions League quality, but he's still quite young. Kyle Walker, quality on his day, quality right back, left back can still be shored up. But you know,
It's a hell of a team.
he knows what he's doing. But what can he do next season to make Man City win the Champions League that he hasn't done the past 4?
The only thing that I can really think is really shoring up that defence, really. But then Guardiola isn't a defensive manager. So if he's got a budget, he's going to put that into attacking creative players. But yeah, it's a strange one with what is, for us, last night's result.
Yeah.
Because on paper, they'd beat Lyon 10 times out of 10.
That's it. And Mbappe's tweet that came out of it was actually quite funny.
Yes.
Fair enough. But I don't see the French league as competitive compared to other European leagues, you know, like the Premier League. That's not a dig. I just don't.
Yeah.
That's a personal opinion. So when you have that powerhouse of Man City versus Lyon, yeah, you think, well, Man City, they surely got to win this. You don't expect otherwise. I think me and you were talking of a Man City Bayern semi-final.
Yeah.
Not for sure, but we were like, yeah, but it's probably going to be. Saying how that deserves to be like a final, not a semi-final. Yeah, it's not even a semi-final.
No.
It's not. So Man City every year seem to be favourites to win the Champions League, or at least in the top 5, 3. The last 4 seasons, they've not got past the quarter-final. So next season, are we going to see the same? Oh, yeah. Probably odds-on favourite, get past the group stage and then fall apart. Talking
about the game itself from yesterday, so the big controversial moment, what's your opinion on it? Lyon's second goal. What's your thoughts on it?
So I'll clear up both of the thing. He doesn't play the ball, so he lets it go, so he's not offside. Everyone's comfortable with that. Even when they show the replay full speed and they zoom in on the ankle, I still don't see it.
Right.
I understand there's probably a touch.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't think it's enough to influence or enough for the reaction. He's looking for it.
Yeah.
I think he knows he's losing that race.
It's a bit of desperation, do you think?
Yeah. Put it back. No.
With the supposed foul, I would agree with you on that. It is more kind of looking for it than it actually directly happening to him. But on the offside, I would disagree. I think it's the same case as, you remember the Sigurdsson goal, or when Sigurdsson pulled his legs out of the way against United. It's by... I mean, I criticise the letter of the law with that goal, where it's all about a movement towards the ball, but I think that player, by letting it go through his legs, is active. If it's gone past him and he's just let it go past him, I think that's different to letting the ball go through your legs.
See, no, I don't. Oh, what a surprise! Me, you disagreeing again? God. So, I have to disagree. He's not played the ball. He's not influenced the path of that ball. I don't know how to explain it. I think he knew he was offside. If he touches the ball, obviously he's going to be offside. If he, let's say for instance, then he jumps over the ball. Are you saying that he's still offside? Are you saying that?
I would say so, yeah, because
he's getting out of the way of the ball, so he's not offside. It's letting it go through his legs. He's not playing the ball. He's letting it go, and that's where I think it's not offside.
I think there's a bit of a difference between what you see sort of maybe every game or every other game, where you get occasions where the striker will just walk past the ball, it's gone, he's not moving towards it. And I think there's a difference between that and letting it go through your legs, because I think the defender can maybe interpret that a little bit different, and he won't have 100% certainty that that's being left.
No, I see, but when I've watched the replays and like looking, obviously because they talked about it after the game as well, every time I saw it, even like when I first saw the replay, I was like, no, he's not offside. He's let the ball go, and because you see referees do it, they let it go through their legs. Are they influencing the ball? Why don't they blow the whistle and say, nope, hold on, like they do nowadays?
Yeah, no, that is a good point, to be honest. But yeah, I think in that occasion, I think there'll be a lot of people that see either side of it.
Yeah.
And in that occasion, with VAR running and the clock's still running, I think the best thing to do is give the sort of benefit of the doubt to the attacking side. And is there a clear and obvious error? I wouldn't say it's a clear and obvious reason to rule out the goal. So I think go with the referee's call on that. There's not enough to overrule it the other way.
Right. Despite that, though, Leon then go up and make it a third. Moussa Dembele scored again. I'm not sure what on earth Edison is doing.
Yeah.
I think that's quite a soft.
Definitely.
I feel like a goalkeeper, especially of his calibre, he should be bringing that to his chest, or at least he's palmed it straight to him.
It's a similar one to the Chelsea goal against Bayern, where you'd expect Neuer to do better, and you'd expect Edison to do better on that one, and that's finished the game for them at that stage.
That has, and Man City, about 20 or 30 seconds before that moment, could have levelled it. However, it was quite possibly one of the worst misses I've ever seen on a football pitch, like ever.
Yeah, it was an absolute shocker, wasn't it?
I've seen so many tweets being like, that's why Kane didn't swear it.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's like, I'm watching that thinking, I don't care if it's Sterling. You put Edison there, you should be scoring that. I don't care who the player is.
You put Adama Traore there, he scores that.
Maybe, but, he's more of a right winger, isn't he? I don't think he'd be in that position if he crossed it in. But with that, I just could not believe it. I was in a pub garden watching it, and everyone was so sure it went in. And then when it went over, everyone mental.
Yeah. No, you expect Sterling to be scoring that, really. You really do.
No, exactly. As I said, regardless if it's Sterling, Aguero, Walker, Manuel Pellegrini, get Steve Bruce.
Yeah.
Anyone stood there should be scoring that.
It's harder to miss than it is to score it. That.
Yeah, it was an impressive miss. Don't get me wrong. Every time I look at it,
particularly on a ground like that, you think these grounds nowadays they're like playing on a snooker table. There's no bobbles to it, really.
No,
he just got right underneath it.
As I said, what was it? I think Ferdinand, whoever was the pundit, was saying like, just let the ball hit your foot. Don't hit it.
Yeah.
Just let it hit your foot. And it's in. It's a guaranteed goal. Did you see the reaction of the Lyon players when it went over?
No, I didn't.
Even they had their heads in their hands.
I've seen the Guardiola reaction.
Oh, the Guardiola reaction. It's his quarter-final pose, isn't it? He gets on his knees and goes, how the hell did that just happen?
Yeah.
He did it with Tottenham, with the VAR rule out. And I love looking at, like, obviously the Man City players. I think Mahrez went mental. Everyone else was like that. But the Lyon players were kind of just like, oh, what the hell just happened there? And they just carry on. And obviously, like 40, 50 seconds later, Dembele scores, kills the game. So this is the first time on this podcast where a prediction of mine is literally going to happen, I think.
You think Bayern Munich winning the Champions League?
I still think Bayern Munich are 100%. After that game, and now that Man City are out, it's Bayern to lose, I think.
I would agree with you on that now, yeah.
Oh, that means it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, I did have Man City down to win it until that surprise happened. But I agree with you that I think it's Bayern's to lose now.
So obviously, a bit earlier on, we had PSG leaving it very late with two players you would never expect. One player in particular, Chuba Motag, who couldn't do it on a cold Tuesday night in Stoke, but he can do it in a Champions League quarter-final against Atalanta. So there's a difference.
That's a hell of a story out there, yeah.
And it was a real shame because what a season Atalanta have had. They were scoring goals for fun in Serie A. And watching them, they were putting in a shift. They were like really going at them.
They were real entertaining attacking side, aren't they, Atalanta? And it's a real shame to see them go out because I think, I don't know if they did deserve it on the night, but I love an underdog story and I'd have been rooting for them.
Yes, I was rooting for them too. And when I heard the commentators scream Atalanta has scored about a good 30 seconds after we saw it, it was like, what? Okay, what's going on here? Yeah. And then when it made it 1-1, it was just like, extra time. Okay, we'll get it to extra time. That's fine. And then Mbappe. Let's quickly talk about Mbappe. He changed the whole pace in Donak in that game when he came on.
Yeah, because I don't think they would have brought him on unless they really had to. And
because he's not 100%, is he? He's about
No.
70%.
No, exactly. And yeah, he is an absolute game changer. And he impacted the game like you'd expect, really. And it was him who set up the winning goal. But also, I think you've got to mention how good Neymar was as well. He had an absolutely fantastic game.
I was just about to mention Neymar. When you miss a chance like that, one-on-one with the keeper within the first, I think it was like 5-ish minutes of the game.
It looked deliberate, didn't it? Yeah.
It's surely not. You're like, he's obviously got a better Atalanta to win.
Yeah.
He's done that, hasn't he? And it was like when I remember messaging you like, I just cannot believe what I have just seen there.
Yeah.
But then after that, he absolutely ran the show. He was skillful, he was powerful in runs. He was always like trying to find that off pass. And I watching that, he's very, very good. PSG, I would say, will probably be in the final.
Yeah.
However, Leipzig are really good at football.
Even without Timo Werner.
Well, I said to you, didn't I? Because I messaged you saying, like, what do you think the score's going to be? You were like, I think Madrid will probably get it 1-0.
A typical Atletico Madrid 1-0. Sit back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I said, well, other than Werner, I think Leipzig is still there, and I think it will be 1-1. Atletico might hit them on the counter, but Leipzig will attack, and get it to extra time. And he was looking that way.
Yeah.
Leipzig, he's 33 years old, this manager. He's less than 10 years older than us.
Yes. Is it Nagelsmann? Something like that, Julian Nagelsmann?
He's outdone Mourinho,
Yeah.
comfortably beat Tottenham in the last 16. He's implemented this style of football into Leipzig that is just frightening. They are quick. Their defending is brilliant. Goalkeeper, former Hull goalkeeper.
Peter Galatsky, yeah. He was awful for us as well. Really, really dreadful. There was like an occasion we played away at Ellen Road and he was scared to come for a cross, that kind of thing. And now suddenly he's a fair few years down the line, he's going to be starting goalkeeper in a Champions League semi-final.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember when you told me you used to play for Hull, I was like,
no, you didn't.
Okay, Elliot.
Yeah. Yes, but
okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, we had him on loan from Liverpool.
Wow. So yeah, he's very capable. And I just think Atletico Madrid, I think they're past it now.
Yeah.
Now, Liverpool lost to that team. So how bad were Liverpool on the night?
Yeah, I mean,
you think, wow.
Partly Adrian had a shocker that
Well,
evening,
he obviously didn't help that.
But
Adrian can't kick out and dive. But the other thing, is that they're so boring to watch. And it does win them games. And I love it when teams play the Atletico way against them.
Yeah.
Like just passing it around. Park of the bus as they go forward, and like every touch on a shoulder they go over, be like, he's hurt me. I just on that game, I just think they were so boring to watch.
Yeah,
and I really, really wanted Leipzig to win.
Yeah, I think they do kind of need to adapt and change a little bit now, Atletico, because I think it was a big miss when Godin left for Inter Milan, but. Yeah. Now they're starting to get a few sort of younger players coming through, and one who is absolutely one for the future and is going to be world class is João Felix. He did make a difference when he came on, but in a team where there isn't an awful lot of creativity, he is that creative spark, and he did make a difference when he came on.
No, when he came on,
and a fantastic penalty.
Oh yeah, no, he's very, very good. So we have, and I said the semi-finals of the Champions League are Bayern Munich versus Lyon and PSG versus Leipzig. Now, if they were group stage games, I wouldn't really care too much. It'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, it's a group stage game, But these are semi-finals of the Champions League. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And obviously, seeing that, I think it would be a PSG Bayern final, and I think it's Bayern's to win.
I would agree with you on that, but you never know with the Champions League. That's the beauty of it.
Well, no, it could be a Leipzig-Lyon final. Imagine that.
That's got Europa League round of 16 written all over it, hasn't it?
Yeah, literally about 5. What was it? Someone said about 10 years ago that's a Europa League tie. And I'm like, well, 10 years ago, Leipzig didn't even exist. So.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll stay on Europe. Wolves go out of the Europa League to a very, very good Seville side. Yes. And we'll link it in with the United as well, because Seville are now Europa League finalists
for the millionth time.
You may as well just call it the
Seville
Europa.
Cup.
Yeah, the Seville Europa League.
Yeah,
It was a shame to see Wolves go out. They were very, very good. Wolves did go at them a little bit. The penalty by Jimenez. Now let's talk about that for a second. One of the worst penalties I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, can we talk about the run as well? Adama Traore, like we've talked enough about Traore, Sterling, whatever, but the run from Adama Traore, he's just picked it up in his own half and he's just run it 70 yards and been taken down.
It was
fantastic
brilliant. He picked it up and he went down the left wing very well, and he then what a stupid foul. First
off. Why wait for him to get inside the box to foul him?
No, that's it. Because I said to you, I think again, what a surprise, we disagreed. But I don't rate Traore one-on-one. I think he's very good on the ball. He's crossing. But when it comes to his like one-on-ones or shooting, I'm not. Yeah. I don't think it was a challenge that needed to have been made if he was shooting. Because I don't think he's got that quality yet.
Right.
But obviously in that mindset when you've got someone running. And the thing is, he's outpacing everyone. And now everyone has not got the ball. He's the only one with the ball. He's running at this speed with the ball, while other players.
I think with him, you've got to do what you see in the Premier League quite a lot. You take him down on the halfway line because he's only going to run past you and then the rest of the of the defence. You need to take him down the halfway line and just take that yellow card.
Yeah, if you can, hold on to his very very lubed up arms.
But talking about that penalty though, it's one occasion of where the penalty taker has kind of waited for a move from the goalkeeper has backfired. I think you've just got to do it the Harry Kane way. You pick a corner and you just absolutely leather it. And if the keeper saves it, fair enough, but you're not relying on them to make a movement and you're not relying on this, that, or whatever. You just put your laces through it and hope for the best.
That's it, and got punished for it.
Yeah.
They did. Seville obviously went on to win the game. Goalkeepers and Man United, they don't seem to do well with goalkeepers, but when goalkeepers play against them in Copenhagen and quite recently El Bono for Seville, oh my God, the Copenhagen keeper was immense. I think it was 13 saves he made against United.
So, his name's Carl Johan Johnson, and he made 13 saves, where if you compare that to Sergio Romero, that is 13 more saves than Sergio Romero made on the same night.
He had, and obviously it took another United penalty, another one, for them to eventually go through. And obviously Bono today for Seville had a cracking game.
It's Bono's best performance. It's probably Glastonbury with you too.
Do you know what? I was thinking to myself, who's out of me and you, who's going to be the first to make a U2 joke? And it was you. I'm glad you took that bullet because I'm.
Sorry, apologies.
And obviously another United penalty.
Yeah.
Another surprise. And so I saw a tweet which was quite interesting. It was like, I understand they've got world-class players. They've got some very good players. Yeah. But 22 penalties this season.
Yeah.
Even United fans, I like to think, have gone, oh God, another one. Wow, okay.
To be fair to them, there's a good number of those that are sort of stonewall penalties, but there are a few questionable ones.
Today's, for example.
Yeah.
I think it's clear penalty.
Yeah. But 22 is a lot of penalties. They've had more penalties this season than Norwich have picked up points. Actually. Yes, they have picked up more penalties than Norwich got points, and they are only 4 penalties short of the amount of goals Norwich scored in the league.
Wow.
Incredible stat.
However, Seville just do what they do in this competition. They just win. They just win games. And it's a weird one because I feel like, is it the 6th time or something that they've at least reached the final?
Something like that. I think they said it's the 6th time in 10 years.
Yet they're never considered favourites.
No. Although in recent years they have gone into the group stage of the Champions League, obviously decided to finish 3rd so that they can win the Europa League.
And then try again. Go back next year.
I feel like they are part of the reason why the incentive of winning the Europa League has gone from getting into the Europa League to getting into the Champions League, because they were winning the Europa League every year and getting back into the Europa League.
Yeah,
and
then
it was during that spell that they increased it so that you could go into the Champions League.
No, that's fair enough. So my guess, I'm doing well for European predictions because I think Inter Milan are going to win it. They play obviously, when you guys hear this, it will be yesterday, but for us recording, it's tomorrow. Inter play Shakhtar.
Yeah.
So I think I think that's an Inter win comfortable. I think I think there's too much strength for that Inter side, but who knows? What I want to ask you, Elliot, now that obviously we're nearing the end of the European finals,
do you
like it how it's just one leg, or do you miss the two legs?
See, I do miss the two-legged games because I think partly because I just like watching football and it's an extra game to watch.
Yeah.
But there is the drama that comes with the away goals and that kind of thing. And like you look at Tottenham versus Ajax last season, you think Tottenham are out of it after the first leg. They come back and Lucas has got them through, and it's drama like that. But then you maybe don't have Bayern being so ruthless as they were.
I am loving these one legs because there is literally so much to play for. It is one game, one person's going, one person's leaving.
There's no
one person's going through, one person's leaving, and you're like, there's no right. We'll sit back this game. We'll try not to concede the away goal, and then we'll try and attack early next game. Do you know what I mean? Like that.
There's no game plan. It's just
no away
attack
goal
versus attack almost.
That's it. There's no away goal. There's extra time. There's penalties. Someone is gonna lose. Fight. And I've absolutely loved that. I think it's made for some really, as you said, Bayern Munich, Barcelona. I don't think if that's a two-legged game, it's 8-2.
They maybe ease up at half time and whatever, and then they go in, and maybe it's still almost game on for Barca come second, like sort of 3 goals behind rather than 6.
Yeah,
but
like with the Wolves, Seville, United Seville as well. You think if they were second leg games, things may have changed. I think one thing that this has seriously missed is atmosphere. There's nothing like a European atmosphere.
Oh, absolutely.
I think if Seville go to the Molineux on that Thursday night in that quarter final,
the place would be
second
bouncing,
leg. Let's say, for instance, I think that's going to be intimidating, and I think that's where I missed that. Like that second leg, Liverpool, Barcelona, Anfield, second leg.
Yeah.
After Liverpool get like the first 2 goals, you think that atmosphere really builds and it starts to intimidate, and I miss that. I really do.
Yeah, you make a good point there, because I don't think a result like that would happen in the circumstances we have now.
No. So I think it's been brilliant. I said it before. I think it's been brilliant, these one-legged things, and obviously now we've got those semi-finals of the Champions League to look forward to, which is one leg. That's it.
Yeah.
Whoever wins, and I can't wait. And it's Seville versus either Inter or Shakhtar. Yeah. We'll find. Obviously, next time we record, we'll know. So I can't wait.
It's
I love
brilliant.
football.
It's brilliant. Yes.
I love it. That should be the trailer for this podcast. I love football.
Yeah.
Done. There you go. That's tagline. So, Elliot, Arsenal were investigating the Pepe signing.
Yes.
And literally immediately afterwards, their head of football gets sacked.
Yeah, so...
Thoughts?
Yeah, so it was a couple of days ago. Arsenal came about. I can't remember if it was them or Sky Sports had like a piece saying that it's being investigated, that signing, simply because of how much it was. And... yeah, within 24 hours, their head of football's been sacked. And I heard today that allegedly that head of football was kind of quite pally with Pepe's agent and perhaps got a little bit of a kickback, but which would show why he's been sacked. But it's ruthless though, isn't it? But there does seem to be quite an overhaul of Arsenal's sort of non-football staff. Yeah, they just seem to be turning over quite a lot of staff at the moment.
I mean, someone needs to look at that because, I do... After the season he's had, you're like, I'm not surprised there was an investigation.
Yeah.
Into 65 odd million for Pepe. I get it. And it wasn't that long ago they announced that I think 55 staff are going to be laid off.
Yeah.
By the way, we've got Willian on a 3-year deal. And it's like, right.
Read the room.
Come on now. I mean, I think Willian can still do a job.
Yeah.
I think in the Premier League, I think he's a good rotation winger. I think he's definitely capable. How much is he on a week?
It's upwards of 100,000 a week.
Yeah. Okay. Well done to Willian's agent there.
Yeah.
Investigation next season potentially. And then, and he's got the 3-year deal that he wanted from Chelsea that they said no, and Arsenal have offered him a 3-year deal. Okay, I guess. I reckon maybe 2 years you'll probably get good out of him, and that 3rd year you could just see it out.
Yeah, I think he would have still been very good at Chelsea, but I think they've done the right thing in saying we're sticking to a 2-year deal, because I think he's 32 at the moment. So if you've got a 35-year-old winger and your ambitions are sort of top 4 pushing for the title, it's not happening.
And Chelsea have got a pretty youthful team coming through, so yeah.
You think the immediate replacement will be Callum Hudson-Odoi if they don't sign anybody else, or Mason Mount's played a lot of minutes on the right-hand side this season. So
he's doing some, he seems to be playing some. No, I get it. And I don't think it's going to be a failure at Arsenal. I don't. I think he will put in a shift. It's good rotation. It's good to have that depth. But I don't know.
I think
it's weird, but I don't know, if you know what I mean.
I think it is quite a smart move for Arsenal, because he does improve them. And I think, although he signed a 3-year deal, I still think they'll try and move him on after 2 years so they can get a little bit of money back for him.
Oh, I guess so, yeah. When he would probably might go to Brazil or something, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. So, only got a few more transfer news that really has happened. Obviously, we got Højbjerg joining Spurs with Kyle Walker-Peters going the other way. That surprised me a little bit because every time I've seen Walker-Peters play for Spurs, I think his debut game, he got man of the match.
Yeah.
No, I think he's still young. I think he's 19 or 20,
Yeah.
so he's still young. I don't think, obviously, at this very moment in time, he was going to cement his place, his first choice.
Yeah.
But when he went on loan to Southampton, I was thinking, good loan move, and he was doing all right for them. He was actually playing quite well for them. Aurier is not good. It's a weird one. Sometimes he'll be the best right back in the team, like in the world, in the Premier League.
He can do some sort of really powerful runs and actually be very good. But then,
but he can't take a throw in. he struggles with those. And you think Walker-Peters would be the natural replacement for Aurier. You don't have to spend any money.
Yeah.
Walker-Peters, we know, playing for Southampton, he's progressed. So what Spurs did with Kyle Walker, minus the Peters. Kyle Walker, he went on loan to Sheffield United and Villa. They were like, he's actually all right. Let's stick him in our right back. Boom. He's brilliant. England, and then he went on to Man City. So I think Southampton have got the better deal there.
Yeah. You think the smarter thing would have maybe been another season on loan at Southampton and reassess in 12 months' time?
Yeah, and said, I think AC Milan are interested in Aurier, and if that happens...
Who have you got?
I think Spurs are trying to make Foyth a right back, a makeshift right back.
Right, okay.
He has played right back for Spurs, and he hasn't done bad.
But would you really want him to be first choice?
He's very clearly not a right back.
Yeah. But what do you think on the Højbjerg side of the deal? What do you make of him?
Sissoko, Dyer, Winks, Ndombele, Højbjerg. That's a lot of centre mids.
But it sounds like Dyer is getting put back to a centre back role.
Centre-back,
So, and then if Ndombele moves on, which has been rumoured, that's two less centre mids, and maybe it's another sort of captain through midfield. It's another bit more leadership.
From seeing Højbjerg, he seems quite like an anchor, if you know what I mean. He's quite solid.
Yeah.
I think I saw something like ball recoveries. He was top of the list this season.
Right.
Way above Declan Rice, who, people have considered very, very good this season.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very Mourinho signing.
Yeah.
That defensive, sure, if I guess because Matic signed a new deal with United, I guess he had to try and find another CDM.
Yeah.
So, and Fellaini scoring goals for fun in China. Yeah. There is no China segment this week. I'm very sorry to disappoint.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry. But if people, there you go, there goes the viewership.
Do you think it'll be a matter of having Højbjerg at that defensive mid role so it can maybe give Sissoko a bit more room to roam that midfield a little bit more?
Yeah, because Sissoko, he likes to drift on the right. He could drift straight through.
Yeah.
He's powerful. You don't want him running at you. So, yeah, maybe. So, we'll have to see how that works. It doesn't scream game changer signing for Spurs, I think. But Mourinho has identified him as a player he wants, and he's got him.
Yeah.
So, that's always a good sign if the manager's like, I want him, and he gets him.
Him straight away, yeah.
But who knows? Only time will tell. And just moving down to the Championship, Lyle Taylor has joined Nottingham Forest. Now, you've put here, worth letting Charlton go down.
So, yeah, I was maybe a bit short on those notes. But, yeah, you think you could maybe understand his decision to not want to play for the club, sort of protecting himself against injury, if he was to get one of the big moves that was rumoured for him, like a Galatasaray. Even moving, I think Celtic were interested. But
all right, yeah, Celtic or Rangers, I think.
But then to go to Nottingham Forest is maybe a little bit underwhelming, really.
So I think there was a move for him. There had to have been.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have done that. No disrespect. I don't think he would have done that for another Championship side. I agree. With the Galatasaray or Celtic, there must have been something in place to make him make that decision.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest is a step up from Charlton right now.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Obviously, because I know there's quite a lot of turmoil with Charlton at this moment in time. We're very witnessing that at the moment. It's not good to see. You don't want to see that happen. And so, it is a step up. Obviously, he'll have that high of being in the playoffs until the last 10 games, and then Forest will fall out. It happens every year. Good for them. Can you tell I live in Derby? So, it's a good move. I think it's a good move all round. He's capable in the Championship. He can score goals.
Yeah.
He's still got one of the cockiest penalty run-ups I've ever seen in my life. Only time will tell if that's the signing that will get Forest, challenging for the championship.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be, but if you're still listening 14 weeks, after we released our first one, we can be wrong. So
yes, we
let's
can.
see. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
definitely. So for the feature for, the next couple of weeks, we're doing a sort of recommended signings for each Premier League club, going through them one by one. We're starting today with the first 10 in alphabetical order, which is Arsenal through to Leicester. And so I'm doing the first 10, with Sam doing the second 10 next week. And yeah, these clubs could sort of improve with these signings.
Please note, these are our opinions. So
yes.
They're not... Because our opinions quite recently have been not
well
received. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just a bit of... I think we just kind of just have a look at some of the teams and think, oh, yeah, you need replacing, and what we see from there on. Yeah, as I said, I'm looking forward to mine next week.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
So we start with Arsenal, and I think it's well known that they need a leader. They haven't really got, apart from Xhaka recently, they haven't really got that kind of leadership, and they also need a centre-back. They need to shore up a defence that has Mustafi and David Luiz in. You need a bit more strength in there. So for that reason, this person ticks both boxes. I've gone with Thiago Silva. He's available on a free.
Yeah.
And okay, he's ageing, but if you get a couple of good seasons out of him, he's been captain at PSG. I think he would improve Arsenal.
So that's not how I expected the segue to. I semi-disagree.
Yeah.
Only a little bit. Now, yes, captaincy, he's a leader. Mm-hmm. He's got no Premier League experience, and he is ageing, and the Premier League is getting a lot quicker and a lot more.
Yeah.
But they do need a centre-back. I would argue need a right-back as well. I don't think Bellerin's doing the job.
No?
No. He's quick.
Yeah. Then moving on to Aston Villa, I've sort of pinpointed the striker position as where they need to improve on this one, because they've got up front, their main striker has been Wesley, and he's only scored 5 league goals this season, and they need someone who's more prolific, and they've got the creativity of Grealish, and you just need someone who's a bit better on the end of that. Yeah. And so I think for someone on their budget, the best value striker available is Ollie Watkins from Brentford.
I think they want him, don't they?
Yeah, that has been rumoured, and I think it would be a very smart signing, because he ended top goal scorer in the league, did he not?
No, I think he lost out by 1 to Mitrovic. Only by 1, though.
But he's a prolific goal scorer, and he knows where the back of the net is, and I think he would improve Aston Villa.
Are you having that play based on Grealish staying?
I think, I think I would, yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, we'll say based on Grealish staying put. Because obviously if Grealish leaves,
you're then looking you're looking for a creative midfielder at that stage. But yeah. So Brighton, I think they're in desperate need of a left back, to be honest. They've had...
Isn't he like 6'7" or something?
So yeah, they've got Bernardo, who is an out and out left back but hasn't been good enough. So they've been playing Dan Burn at left back, who's 6'6" and he's a centre-back through and through. He's been played out of position. And I think they've got Gaetan Bong on their books as well, but he's been on loan to Forest, so he's just sort of out of the picture. And again, with a budget, I think the best available player would be Brentford's left-back, Enrico Henry. He's maybe not as defensive as what Brighton would look for, but he would offer them a lot, and he's rapid.
Yeah, okay.
But as far as I'm aware, that is those 2 Brentford players are the only Brentford players. I'm not dismantling their squad here. Would you agree on that one, bringing in a left back?
I think Brighton do need quite a few players. I think, I agree with the left back, because they have been playing Burnout's position.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's been bad, but he's not
He's not a fullback.
He's not.
Absolutely not.
No, he's not a fullback at all. So, no, I would probably agree. I think they're right back. They've got Montoya, who seems to be injured a lot, and Bruno, who's like 37 or 38, so maybe the wings as well.
A youngster from Chelsea, Lamperty, I think he's called, 19 years old. He only kind of played a handful of games toward the end of the season, but he's looked very good for them.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
With the next team, moving on to, is Burnley, and they've recently lost Jeff Hendricks on a free, and he played the majority of the games at right mid last season, so I think they're in need of another sort of hard-working right midfielder. It doesn't have to be sort of out-and-out pace or anything like that, but I've looked at maybe David Brooks as that replacement. Recently gone down with Bournemouth. He was injured a lot of last season, but if you get him playing, he is a hell of a player.
He looked very good for Bournemouth, sorry, yeah.
And I think Burnley kind of had a bit of a recruitment policy of almost just buying British, and he's Welsh, and he's I think he'd suit the role very well. He's maybe not as physical as Jeff Hendrick, but I think he'd fit the role.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can see that. I'm trying to think of their striking options, because they've got Jay Rodriguez
And Chris Wood.
All right, and Chris Wood.
They maybe get 10 goals a season each, but it's a decent enough partnership to see you safe.
That's other than that, no, I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Now moving on to Chelsea, it was one of two positions here. It was either a centre-back or a goalkeeper. I think in recent weeks, Kepa hasn't been good enough. They've been playing Caballero more and more.
God, they need a goalkeeper,
and they need a goalkeeper. And I thought with Kepa being the world record signing as a goalkeeper, and them already spending a lot of money this window, not to break another transfer record for a goalkeeper, and maybe look for someone who's a bit better value. And the best of which in there, I think Nick Pope, I reckon sort of 30-40 million would bring him in. And of course he's not going to be as good as Jan Oblak, but then you're going to be spending half or a third of the money. So, and Nick Pope is proven in the Premier League. He's still young for a goalkeeper, and I think he'd be a very good fit.
I think I completely agree with goalkeeper, and I think if anyone disagrees, then have you been watching Chelsea this season? I agree. What I think, because when you were saying goalkeeper, I didn't think you were going to say Nick Pope.
Right, okay.
I thought you were going to say, pause for effect, Onana.
Okay.
Ajax goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He's 24, so he's still young.
Yeah.
He's not proven in the Premier League. However, I think he's still a decent goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Would you keep Caballero as backup, or would you maybe try and find a backup as well?
I think Caballero is getting on a little bit. I don't know
38,
if
I think.
Oh, wow, yeah. So I don't know if they've got any sort of young keepers coming through. I can't think that they do off the top of my head.
I can't think of any that have either gone on loan or been promoted.
Yeah, so maybe you look to bring in a second choice as well. But I think you need to get Kepa out, and you need to just try and recoup some of that transfer money.
Completely agree.
Then the next one, Crystal Palace, I found to be a real difficult one, because they need to bring down the average age of their squad. They are such an ageing squad, and they simply won't be able to stay in the Premier League if they keep it going at that rate. And at the same time, they need a goal scorer through the middle. They didn't have any goal scorers in double figures last season. Ayew's done a decent job, but I think if you're long term looking to stay in the Premier League, you need better than Jordan Ayew.
Yeah, no.
So I've had to look through the middle, and I've looked for young attackers who have got a number of goals this season. I've gone with Josh Madger, formerly of Sunderland, who's now I think at Bordeaux. He did only get single figures in terms of goals this season, but the French league was cut short, so he hasn't played a full season, and I think he's still very, very young. I think he might be 20 or early 20s at least, and if you tie him down to a long-term contract, I think he could do a job there.
At this moment in time, at time of recording, that Sorlaf is still on their books.
Yes.
Who has scored more goals for his club than Crystal Palace did this season.
Yeah.
Now, I understand he was a bit shocking when he played for Palace, but it's very clear he can score goals.
Yeah.
It's very clear.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think he's got a release clause of like 5 million.
Yeah,
or
he's got
something
a
like
ridiculously low release clause, so I wouldn't expect him to stay.
No, exactly right. And I think very recently it was Leipzig, I think, were keen on him to replace Werner.
Yeah.
Now, this is a player that Crystal Palace have got on their books because they need a striker. Yeah, and Leipzig are looking at taking him, but I
think if they can convince him to stay, then that would change what they need.
Yeah.
But I think with a release clause that low, and with him obviously not having the greatest of times at Palace, so he'll be probably unwilling to sign a new contract, I don't see him staying there.
No, I do agree with the striker. I said Benteke's just not.
He's absolutely past it, yeah.
Zaha, he's not so much a striker, but obviously I think he's gone.
Yeah.
And Ayew, long term.
And then you didn't even mention Connor Wickham.
Oh, yeah. He's still around.
Yeah. Then the next team to look at was Everton. And I think the right-hand side it had to be either right back or right mid. And I've gone with right mid simply because all season, the person who's played the most at right mid is Theo Walcott. And his good days are long past him now. I think you need to improve, particularly with the kind of ambition that Everton are showing bringing in Ancelotti. Yeah. And I think they need to improve at right mid. And I think with their budget, they would be able to get someone like Ismail Assar, who's been relegated with Watford and one of their standout players of the season.
Yeah, I would like to add maybe a centre-back.
Yeah.
Because Michael Keane and...
Yerry Mina.
Who's the other one? Oh, Mina.
Yeah.
They haven't looked special. I think Zuma went on loan, didn't he, like the season before? And he had a good season at centre-back. And I don't think they've really got that defence.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said right mid, because I think Seamus Coleman, I still think could put in a shift.
Yeah.
And Digne on the left is very good.
Yeah, but
Essentially, yeah.
aside from that, it's maybe just looking at depth, because I know
Yeah.
Baines is now retired, so maybe a second choice left back, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then now moving on to newly promoted Fulham, I went with their right back, because although they're obviously a newly promoted team, they're one of the weaker teams in the division. I feel like they're quite well balanced in terms of there isn't really much of a weak link. It's more just they're a decent enough team. But I went with Dennis Adoy, who's had a couple of very good seasons at right back.
Okay,
and
yeah.
he was one of their standout players at right back, played almost every game last season. But I've simply gone on that because of age. He's 32 years old, and at full back, he's someone with a bit more energy, really, and particularly Premier League. I think that's one place that they need to improve. So the person who I've sort of pointed out as who could be that new right back is Matty Cash at Nottingham Forest, because I think he was in the EFL team of the season at right back, and he had a very good season. He was one of Nottingham Forest's standout players. I think he would improve Fulham. Would you agree?
Yeah. So it's difficult with talking about newly promoted sides. Obviously, I know who you're coming on to next. So because there are obviously going to be
big changes,
literally everywhere. Yeah, there's going to be some big changes. No, if they keep holding Mitrovic, I think they've got a decent striker. They've got Kenny can still do it. Knockhart if he stays, because I think he's still only on loan. If he stays at Fulham, I think they were right there.
Because I had looked at their centre-back options, and I mean, he didn't have the greatest of time at Hull City, but Michael Hector, who supposedly the fans call Virgil van Mike, which is absolutely disgraceful. But he's had a very good time at Fulham, and they've got Alfie Mawson next to him, and I feel like that's not going to be the first place that they look to replace.
No. Okay. No, that's fair enough.
And then you can't replace Joe Bryan at left back after his playoff heroics.
Not after that. No, not after that at all.
So that's Fulham. Now moving on to another newly promoted team of Leeds United. I think they need a lot of improvements, but the one that
Don't beat around the bush. No, I know. We're very non-biased here.
I think where they need to improve the most is in goal, because
so glad you said that.
Kiko Casilla is an absolute liability. His head's gone. His head's still in Madrid, I think. I think they signed him simply because he was from Real Madrid.
No, he's still living off he sounds like his name is Casilla. Yeah, I think that's the only reason Real Madrid bought him.
Yeah, and then they realised he wasn't very good, so Leeds bought him, and then they've realised he wasn't very good and allegedly racist. So
well, yeah.
But they do have Meslier, who they had on loan last season. They've since signed him permanently, who is one for the future. He's only 20 years old, but he has only played 10 league games, and I think you need, going into the Premier League for the first time in 15 years or whatever it is, you need better. You need experience, and he's not. He might grow into be a very good goalkeeper in the future, but I don't think he is that now. So I've gone with someone with bags full of Premier League experience in Ben Foster, recently relegated. I think he had a fantastic season last season. I think he's massively underrated.
Yeah, he is. I think he can still do a job. I thought you were going to say Joe Hart.
Yeah, he's in the.
I'm not.
He's in the picture, isn't he? But yeah, I think Ben Foster's a better goalkeeper, at least at the moment.
I think they should look to probably loan. Yeah, maybe like a keeper who's
do a Sheffield United and getting an up and coming keeper. Obviously, you already get Dean Henderson, but
funnily enough, I don't remember too much of what he was like, because obviously he was sold. But Bailey, Peacock Farrell, I can't remember what his name
Farrell,
is.
Yeah,
Peacock Farrell. He is still on Burnley's books.
Yes,
and he's not playing.
Yep,
because Nick Pope's really good. Mm-hmm. So why not maybe bring him back on loan?
Maybe.
I don't know what. I can't remember why he was sold. Obviously, there was a reason. Yeah, because Casilla came in and replaced him. I agree with the goalkeeper. I think striker as well. Yeah,
that was the other one that I was really thinking of, because they've got Patrick Bamford, who is simply not good enough. But I think it's a bigger problem. It's a bigger problem waiting to happen in goal than it is up front.
Yeah, I agree.
And the final one of my 10 teams is Leicester. And again, it was a very, very difficult one, because they're extremely well balanced, especially at the moment, before they've sold anyone, because I can't do it presuming they're selling anyone. I went with the right mid, where Jose Perez has played this season, and he has had a very good season, but he can also be used in a front two with Vardy, or maybe just playing off of Vardy.
Yeah.
And he can be used in other positions. So I went for the right mid. And I think the best option available, because they won't buy players particularly old, but then they'll want goal scorers out wide as well. So the best player I think they could get is Lucas Ocampos. Plays for Seville, played this evening, and I think he scored 13 or 14 goals from right mid last season in La Liga, and I think he would be an improvement. And he's not that world-class player that's going to be looking at the Man Cities, the Man Uniteds. He'll go to that step below, which is Leicester.
Right. Yeah, okay.
The only other position I maybe sort of looked at was centre-back, but then Johnny Evans, he'll be in place of Johnny Evans, but he's had a brilliant season.
No, he has had a very good season. No, I would say Kasper Schmeichel's like 32. I think maybe 33. So I think he's still capable. Oh, he's still very good.
Yes.
But I think maybe you should look to challenge him a bit more. Yeah. No disrespect to, I think, Danny Ward and
Eldin Jakupovic.
Thank you. I don't think they're challenging Kasper Schmeichel, so maybe. However, you still got Vardy scoring goals for fun. You still got, Ian Nacho. He can impact a game quite well up front. I said their midfield of Ndidi is so good, and
on the left hand side they've got Harvey Barnes as well. So I wouldn't be dropping him out.
No, that's fair enough. I'd agree with that. Does that mean my first team next week's Liverpool?
Yes. Good luck.
God, okay.
How do you improve a team winning the league on 99 points?
Yeah, well, you'll find out next week. Okay, no, I like that. Yeah, it's not the longest segment, but we wanted to talk about something. Obviously, we don't want to do our predictions yet, because that will come the week before. Yeah. So we wanted to do something about next season, and we thought where we think improvements need to be made, and then we'll come together and see the week before, do our predictions, and really look forward to it.
Undoubtedly go horribly wrong.
Oh, absolutely, and I can't wait to hear the final podcast when we look back. We look back at the beginning of it. No, as I said, I didn't know those were Elliot's picks, so it was good hearing those for the first time along with everyone else that's listening. So
I look forward to hearing yours next week.
Yeah, no, as always, tweet us, or comment, if you're watching on YouTube, comment, and tweet us who you think would be best. What you think needs shoring up. If we've mentioned a team that you support, do you agree? Or do you not? So no, brilliant. Right, so we come to the end of the podcast, No Context News, where me and Elliot challenge each other to find the most random news headlines from around the world that really make us think. I don't know what Elliot goes for. He doesn't know what I go for. We just say the headline and we just end the podcast. This week is Elliot's week to shine. Yes. Hit me.
So this headline comes from Sky News, and the headline is: a Twitter fight has broken out between Donald Trump's campaign advisor and the fictional character Marge Simpson. So thank you for listening. We've been Through on Goal. We're on Twitter on @TOGoal Podcast, on YouTube if you search Through on Goal, wherever you get your podcasts, every Tuesday. Thank you for listening, and we'll speak to you next week.
Thank you very much for listening. I've been Sam.
I've been Elliot.
Yeah, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.